What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. These are my post-weigh-in final thoughts for UFC Vegas 100. We have Carlos Prates going against Neil Magny, the very special 100th Apex Fight Night card, and they are rewarding us with some absolute bangers. We got Zach Scroggin on the card. The guy's a beast. Antonio Trocoli. Antonio Trocoli's fun. What else? Oh, Claudius. How can I forget about Claudius? Put some respect on Claudius Sygula. Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Yeah, it should be a special fun night. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to breaking all these fights down. Yeah, not my favorite card from a betting perspective. Don't really love it from a betting perspective. But maybe that'll play out in a good way, because typically when I say that, I typically end up doing very well. So trying to keep it as light as possible. We have a big pay-per-view card next week. So yeah, should be interesting. Looking forward to breaking it all down. Before we do so, if you guys could do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be going live tomorrow for Best Bet. Going to be trying to do it in the afternoon-ish, maybe 1, maybe 2 in the afternoon. So be on the lookout for that. And the betting breakdown video will be out sometime tonight. Got to record that. But pretty much got all my action in 4.5 units deep, which feels like 4.5 units too many for this card. And then also maybe looking to maybe throw like a Hail Mary parlay in for this card as well. A couple spots sticking out. But yeah, there's a lot of wide lines, a lot of very wide lines. I think the closest line fight on this card is that Racki Semelsberger fight. Other than that, we have minus 800 favorites, minus 700 favorites, a bunch of minus 400 favorites. So it should be an interesting one. But what is up, everybody in the chat? Hopefully you all are having a great Friday. We got Uncle Weezy, first one in the building with the oi. What is up, Uncle Weezy? We got Mushroom in here. What's up, Brady? One more sleep. Yes, looking forward to some fights tomorrow evening. We got Eric the Red 23. What is up, Brady? Good luck, everyone, this weekend. You as well, Eric. Good to see you. We got Jackie Blaine Harrington. What's up, Brady? Let's clobber the bookies. Thanks for all the insight. I used to be a hater. Now I'm a huge fan. Appreciate that, Jackie. Best of luck to you tomorrow. We got Tony saying, hey, Brady, looking forward to a fun night of fights. Some spots looking pretty good, but the lines this week are like Chris Barnett's waistline wide. Yeah, they are. A lot of very, very wide lines. And a lot of these props, like the lines are wide as well. Like we'll talk about a couple of them. Guitar Sam Prates KO, I would agree. I think Prates KO is even like minus 300. We got Broke Degen. What is up? What is up? Saying, oi, members only. Heck yeah, appreciate you, Broke Degen. We got John Q. What is up? For saying this card is booty, like fat, hairy, sweaty man booty. Oh, gosh. I don't know anything about that. We got Spencer. What is up? The Goat Brady. Good to see you in here, Spencer. Real Fight Pick saying Dusko third round KO is my lock. Most confident pick. It's not something to be confident in, but if this does go deep, it would, in theory, favor Dusko, you got to think. But he's going to have to survive one hell of a storm for sure. Brady, good to see you. Forrest, good to see you. Scott saying, are parlays necessary when the lines are so wide? I mean, some of these lines just not even parlayable. Like, how can you lay minus like 800 on Dos Santos, minus 800 on Prates? It's a chalky week for sure. But I say we get into it. We have 11 fights to talk about. This card has taken some hits. We lost Miles Johns, Cody Garbrandt. We lost Nicholas Dalby, Elizu Zaleski Dos Santos. Zach Scroggin is stepping in. Who else did we lose? Oh, we just lost Tercios Sopai. We lost Tercios Sopai after the weigh-in. So we're now down to like 11 fights. And yeah, we'll talk about the weight missers, a couple weight missers today. And we're going to kick it off with one of the weight missers. We got a cheater. We have a cheater kicking off the card. Melissa Mullins going against Claudius Sygula. Melissa Mullins missed weight, I believe, for the second time in a row. Right? And yeah, she cheated. And as we've seen as of late, cheaters have been going out there and having success. Most recently, we saw that cheater Jocelyn Edwards miss weight, right? And she went out there and had her career best performance. So I'm not too worried about the weight miss for Melissa Mullins at all. I think if anything, it might even, go out there and help her. But looking into this fight, first look, I'm like, how the heck is Melissa Mullins a minus 250 favorite against anybody in the UFC? But after looking into Sygula, I'm just not sure what she's really doing here. She's fought a very, very low level of competition. Her only loss comes by submission. Seen her taken down, put in some really bad spots on the ground. And Melissa Mullins, I don't think she's the best fighter in the world, but what she is, she's very physical. She can drag fights down to the mat, get on top. Her ground and pound is vicious. She's a brown belt in BJJ. I just have a feeling that Sygula just doesn't belong here. That's just my feeling. Like, she doesn't belong here. So, and on top of that, Sygula is taking this fight on short notice. It was supposed to be Melissa Mullins versus, I think it was Montserrat Rendon. So, yeah, I think Mullins wins here. I think she pays off this price tag as nasty as that sounds. She's minus 250, but I feel like that in hindsight could actually look value. I think she can get takedowns here, get on top, and once she does, I think she can potentially even finish the fight here. So I like Mullins. I like Mullins inside the distance, and I think the submission is very sneaky. It's plus 950. Mullins, no submissions on her record yet, but she is a brown belt in BJJ. She is a good grappler. She will go for subs. And as we see it there, Sygula has been submitted in her only professional loss. And then as an amateur, she's been submitted a couple times as well. So I just have a feeling Mullins will be able to get on top. She will be able to get into dominant positions, and a finish is actually kind of live in this matchup. See, I like Mullins here quite a bit, which it's gross, it's nasty, but I think she should go out there and get a big win. Pinheiro was the hottie of the weigh-ins. Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. What up, Brady? Got Robertson by submission plus 120. I think you hit that. I think you hit that for sure. How could you not take Neil Magny at that? I actually think Magny is going to win. He's going to take him down and finish him on the ground. Okay. Plus, he can hang on the feet. Watch Magny on the feet. Yeah, you're going to get great odds on Magny. I'm not touching that fight personally, but yeah, you can't lay minus 700, 800 on Carlos Prates. Action saying all good in thy hood. Agreed. Let's see. Don't come in between Melissa Mullins and her cheesecake. What does that mean, Forrest? What does that mean? Cheating is a great base for MMA. Yeah, it is. Cheating is a great base for MMA. We see it all the time. The guys will go out there and cheat, and then they'll win. There's no repercussion. If you miss weight, there's no repercussions. Maybe take a little of your purse, but yeah, you can cheat. You can grab the cage. You can eye poke, and nothing will really happen about it. So yeah, I think cheating is going to do Mullins well here. Let's see. I may be alone here, but I'm picking Cody Stamann. Blackshear just KO'd stiff. I don't like that for minus 250. I think Blackshear is wider than minus 250, right? On some books, potentially. Let's see here. Mullins looked like she had a terrible cut, and she came under. No, she missed weight by a couple pounds, I believe. Mullins inside the distance. That's what I'm leaning. Let's see. Yeah, I agree. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's for dang sure. Jason says it as well. If you're not using Tapology dark mode, you're not doing it right. Is that new? I didn't know there's a Tapology dark mode. Is that one of the new? I think they did a couple of new updates. I'll have to check it out. Tapology dark. It sounds cool. I'll have to check it out. All right. So yeah, Mullins, I think she should make it look pretty easy. Moving on to the next fight. We got Trayshawn Gore going against Antonio Trocoli. I want nothing really to do with this fight at all. I mean, it's one of those fights where it's like, geez, do you really want to lay minus 170 on Trayshawn Gore? I don't. But at the same time, geez, do you really want to put money on Antonio Trocoli? I don't really want to do that either. So I'm going to sit back and watch this one. I think that Gore, I mean, this is a guy, he's 30 years old. I think he still does have some upside. Like, there's some things in his game that I do like. He's very physically strong. I think his grappling's underrated. He clearly has some power. He's clearly a good fighter. So when he goes in there, he just does nothing. He's just so low volume. It's hard to watch. Antonio Trocoli, I don't know what to even say about this guy. This guy's big for the division. I don't think he has great cardio. I don't think he has great striking. He's very hittable. I don't think he has good wrestling. I think it's a bad matchup for Trocoli, but at the same time, it's like, I don't really trust Gore to go out there and either A, knock him out, or B, just put up a ton of volume. I think this fight could end up playing closely just because Gore, I don't know. I just feel like Gore is going to make this a lot harder than he really needs to be. So the pick is Gore for sure. I just laying minus 170 on Gore is not really something I want to do. And on top of that, there's no props that really stick out either. So yeah, Gore for me, but I'm going to sit back and just watch this one. I know a lot of people taking the shot on Trocoli, which, I mean, yeah, maybe this could play out close, but I don't know. Nothing's really sticking out here to me. We got Tone in the building. Let's go, Brady. Let's go, Tone. We got my guy Cody in the building. What's up, broski? What's up, Cody? Best of luck to you tomorrow. The Ritter sub 1 boys plus 500. I feel it in my bones. I could see it. Betting on Trocoli is literally free money. Oh, great. Now he's gonna lose. Now you jinxed it for everybody. I'm not betting on this fight, but I know a lot of people taking that dog shot. Gore was being a total goofball at weigh-ins, pulled up his shorts like heading Rimley for the face-offs, not striking fear. I didn't notice that, but I guess he was being a goofball. Gore in the over 1.5 makes sense. Trocoli pulled up on Mackenzie Dern's ex as he was on a skateboard and he knocked him out cold. This happened in Miami. It's just hard to imagine Trocoli knocking out anybody. Wow, big. That's big if true. I knew something happened. I didn't know that happened though. That's crazy. That's probably the only person he'll knock out. I mean, that's bad. So they should get in trouble for that. That's not cool. Gore by sub. Yeah, Gore does have some. I think he's even like a black belt, like underrated grappling. We saw it in the Frem fight, right? Yeah, he's a good grappler. Will they get it here though? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but his grappling is underrated. Good luck, everyone. Good luck to you as well, Carmi. Twizzy saying Gore KO round 2. Trocoli gets lit up like a Christmas tree. He's so hittable. Poor gas tank. But does Gore he doesn't have any urgency is the only problem. If Gore has some urgency, I'd probably be on that KO prop, but I think this fight might even suck, to be honest. Was it a cheap shot? It sounds like a cheap shot. All right, let's move on to this next fight. We got Damon Blackshear going against Cody Stamann. We got Blackshear minus. Oh yeah, he's only minus 2. I thought he was a bigger favorite than that. Minus 260. Cody Stamann is plus 220. Yeah, nothing much sticking out here. I guess the only thing, if I was like forced to bet on this fight, would be that Cody Stamann plus 3.5 point spread. Really, with that, I think the only thing you would have to be worried about would be like a Damon Blackshear submission. But I don't really see Blackshear having much success in the wrestling. I think this is primarily going to take place on the feet. And yeah, I do think it's going to play out pretty competitively. Blackshear is the younger guy, and he's much bigger. Going to be 4-inch height advantage, going to have a massive reach advantage as well. So yeah, I do slightly lean Blackshear, but minus 260 it is a tad wide. And if anything, I would be on that plus 3.5 point spread on Cody Stamann. I think it's like minus 125. I don't think that's the worst look in the world. I think he could potentially win one of the rounds. Could really be any round, but maybe even like round 3 because Blackshear does slow down and he loses a lot of round 3s. So yeah, plus 3.5 for Stamann would be something I don't mind. But those plus 3.5s, they've been, I don't know. I mean, they haven't been hitting lately. Like I remember like the Liao fight against Renat Fakhretdinov. I was looking to play that, and it should have been like an easy hit, but it just takes one crooked, corrupt judge to ruin those point spread bets. So I'm going to start treading more lightly on those point spread bets, but that's kind of how I would attack it if I was going to play. But yeah, nothing really sticking out here. Both the contracts on the line. Yeah, I mean, it seems like Stamann hasn't won in a while. Oh, yeah, his last win was against Luan Lacerda and Eddie Wineland, which that doesn't count. But yeah, Stamann's been on like a little bit of a skid. 2-5 in his last 7 fights. Been on a little bit of a skid. Coming off losses to Douglas Silva de Andrade and Lapalus. Yeah, Stamann might be on the chopping block. And yeah, Blackshear. He's 2, 3, and 1 draw in his last 6 fights. And wins over Jose Johnson, the one on the Lacerda, but he has dropped 2 in a row to Mario Batista and Montel Jackson. So yeah, I think this could be a fight where the loser does get cut. We'll see. This whole card is dog or pass. Yeah, that's the problem I'm having with this card. It's like all these favorites are way too wide. But at the same time, I'm just not digging like many of these dogs at all. Like at all is my problem. But yeah, these lines are wide. The parlay boys are back in town. Blackshear sub. Yeah, it's on the table. I was hoping it would be like a much better price. It's only plus 400. Cody Stamann has been sub twice, and Blackshear's legit on the ground. It's just, will it get there? I think it might have to be like a club and sub potentially. We've seen Cody Stamann club and sub before, but I'm just not sure. Blackshear will be able to take him down is the problem. Stamann literally has all the tools, just can't even hope to put it all together, and he's just so small. He's so undersized in the division against a lot of guys, especially here, just undersized. And he's getting up there in age. So I do slightly lean Blackshear, but I will not be laying this price. All right, moving on to the next fight we got. Charles Racki going against Matthew Semelsberger. And yeah, not a ton sticking out here. I mean, Matthew Semelsberger is just a guy that he's hard to cap because I think he's skilled. He has a ton of power, like a ton of power. This guy's like 9 or 10 knockdowns in the UFC, but he only has like 2 knockouts to show for it. And it's like you look at his knockouts and it's like Martin Sano, who that guy was so bad that they only gave him 1 fight and cut him right after. He got knocked out in 15 seconds. I think he was friends with like one of the Diaz's. It was bad. It was bad. And then the other one was against Jason Witt, which, that doesn't count either. So, yeah, he has this power, but he's not really knocking guys out. He's just knocking them down, and then he can be very low volume. He has awful takedown defense, 45% takedown defense for Matt Semelsberger. So what I think is going to happen here is I think just Racki has more ways to win. I think he's going to be higher volume on the feet. I think he has, just as much power as Semelsberger. And then I think he could potentially get takedowns here as well. Charles Racki is a BJJ black belt. We haven't seen it much in the UFC, but, he's outside the UFC. We've seen him take guys down and submit them shortly after. Good jiu-jitsu. And I kind of feel like the path here for Rackley should be to get the fight down to the mat. And if he tries to, I think he can. Like Semelsberger does not have great takedown defense, and Racki doesn't have great wrestling, but I don't think he needs it to get the fight down to the mat. And if he does, I just think he's going to have a big advantage. So I took a shot on the Racki by submission at plus 700 for a half a unit. I think that would be the path here. I think that could be the path. Just taking this guy down. Semelsberger's been submitted before. Semelsberger is coming off a little bit of a layoff and injury as well. I think Racki takes him down and works that ground game. So, yeah, that's a sub prop that did stick out to me while taping this fight, that Racki sub for sure. So, taking a shot on that. Outside of that, I don't want nothing to do with this fight. Semelsberger fights are tough to call. They're frustrating as well. This guy is so frustrating to bet because you're just yelling at your TV, do something, Matt, do something. And he just makes dumb mistakes. Like, it's terrible fight IQ. So, yeah, I think Racki potentially subs him here. Can Scroggin win? I mean, anybody can win. It's a fight, but I don't think so, personally. I'm going to pass on this fight. Yeah, nothing wrong with passing on this one at all. Let's see. Wearing a hat. Oh, we got my guy Lou Betcha. Good to see you in here, Lou. Shout out to Lou Betcha. Wearing a hat minus 210, easy money. Yeah, that was a parlay piece. Oh, of course, that was a parlay piece. What else we got here? Brady, with all honesty, what do you rate this fight night card from 1 to 10? Is this the worst Apex card you've ever had? No, it's not the worst. Absolutely not the worst. Remember Apex fights like Dustin the Diamond versus Dan the Hangman Hooker? Yes, I do. How could I forget that? It's definitely not the worst. We've seen some very, very bad cards at the Apex. 1 through 10. And to be fair, this card's taken a lot of hits. I give it like a 5. Because there are some fun fights. Like, let me find a fun fight here. Mansur Abdul-Malik versus Dusko Todorovic. That should be fun. We get to see Dusko's head get bounced off the canvas. Jillian Robertson, that's a fun fighter to watch. How can you not be excited for Ramos, Balanos, the Ritter, Meerschaert? Like, this whole main card really is honestly very good. It's just some of these prelims are just really lackluster. I give it like a 5 or 6. Matthew said he has something different in store for his opponent. Oh, okay. I'm interested to know what that might be. It's like a 4. That's fair. I'll get like a 5, 6. We got Portal Paul. What is up? All right, let's keep moving on. We have Elijah Zaleski Santos going against Zach Scroggin. And where is this line at now? Yeah, money's poured in on Dos Santos. So yeah, he opened up minus 500. He's currently minus 800, which that officially makes him the biggest favorite on the entire card. Scroggin, he is undefeated, but he's fought really awful competition. It's really bad. And I'm watching some of his fights. It's like he does some things well. I like the volume on the feet. He will go for takedowns. If he does get on top, he is dangerous, but I don't see him taking down Dos Santos really at all. I think if anything, Zaleski can take down Scroggin. Scroggin has absolutely no takedown defense. He'll also jump the gilly, end up on his back. And then on the feet, he's just very hittable. We have some fighters with terrible striking defense on this card, like Dusko Todorovic, Melissa Mullins. But I think Scroggin's striking defense is probably worse than both of them. I'm just very, very hittable, just begging to kind of be knocked out. So, yeah, I think Zaleski goes out there and probably even gets a finish. Like Scroggin coming in here on short notice, he missed weight. I think Zaleski probably either lands something big or could even catch him in a sub. So I think Zaleski inside the distance is kind of where I would look. It's not the best price, but I might throw that in like a Hail Mary parlay. I just don't think Scroggin is ready just yet. And this is this is an astronomical step up. I mean, go look at Scroggin's last opponent. It was like some 60-year-old. And the 60-year-old was like having success. It's like, what's going on, Zach? What's going on? So yeah, I think Zaleski just beats the brakes off of him here. But that's no hot take. He's like minus 800. Scroggin and still undefeated. I mean, that would be one of the biggest upsets in a very long time, right? I mean, this guy's like plus 600. I got Eliza all day. Scroggin fought Cans. Yeah, just very, very questionable competition. This card would be better if my man cold brew cappuccino. I can't believe that's some of the things you send me, Lou. I'm like, I can't believe this is real. I can't believe some of this stuff's real, but it's 2024. We're seeing some crazy stuff. What are you guys going to lay minus 750? Yeah, don't lay minus 750 really on anything. Agreed. It does. It really does. Zaleski by spinning kick, very much on the table. I mean, this guy, Scroggin, does not have any defense. Nate Maness, my buddy. Big fan of that guy. That's for sure. Round kick to the face. It's on the table. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. It is Denise Gomes going against Karolina Kowalkiewicz. I'll keep this one short and sweet. Same thing like a lot of these fights. It's like Denise Gomes is minus 500. Karolina's plus 385. Can't get there. I know a lot of people taking the shot on the inside the distance. I can't get there either. I think the inside the distance is plus 210. The reason being is, in this new glove era, we're not getting a ton of knockouts at all. And I don't think we've had a strawweight knockout with these new gloves yet. Maybe this is the first one, but I don't think we've had a strawweight get a knockout since these new gloves have became a thing. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's Gomes by decision probably, but I mean, who knows? I mean, the decision props like minus 145. Like, yikes! Like all these props are just terrible. So I think Gomes wins. Karolina, she's getting up there, 39 years old. Gomes has power. Maybe Gomes can get some takedowns here and there. But yeah, give me Gomes to get it done. I just can't lay minus 500. And no props are really sticking out either. Brady, do you think we see Karolina retire at Vegas 100? Maybe. I'm not sure. I thought she was going to retire after the Felice Herrig fight, but I was wrong. That fight was back in 2022. I thought she was retiring after that fight because she's on a 4-fight skid. But since that fight, she's like 3-1. So maybe this is a retirement fight. Pillow punches now. Yeah, I mean, Gomes does hit hard for a strawweight, but yeah. Gomes was the first on the scales. Always a good look. Parlayed the over 2.5 and a 2-teamer. I would lean over for sure as well. Yep, John bringing up 0 KOs at strawweight since that glove switch. Will Gomes be the first one? Gomes about a club and sub. She could. She is a brown belt. Karolina has been subbed twice. Could be a potential club and sub. Hey, Brady, how do you find the crooked judges last weekend? I took your Leal plus 3.5 and felt like it was a lock until the scorecards. Yeah, that was probably one of the biggest robberies I've ever seen in my entire life. Because I thought Liao won the fight 30-27, like 29-28 at worst, but one of the judges had it 30-27 Renaud. So yeah, these crooked, corrupt judges, man, it's something to definitely be wary of going forward. So, but yeah, that was one of the worst decisions I've seen all year. Carolina looked so happy at the weigh-in. She was in tears. There we go. She's excited. Moneyline, good parlay piece if you're a DGen like me. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing like a multi-leg parlay, I think Gomes is fine to throw in. I'd be surprised if she lost the fight. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is Meerschaert Abdul-Malik going against Dusko Todorovic. And we have Meerschaert Abdul-Malik. He is minus 450 now. Dusko Todorovic is plus 355. It's hard to get to this line on Abdul-Malik, just because I do think he's still a little green. I still have question marks about his cardio. It looked like he was really slowing down in his Contender Series fight, but he did show some heart to his credit, and he was able to push through it, eventually get on top of Wes Schultz and finish him in late second round. But yeah, if this fight does get extended, like second round and a half to the third, like I would be definitely worried, but I don't think it gets that far. Todorovic, he's on a bit of a layoff. He's coming off of some nasty injuries, and even like outside like the injury stuff, like this guy is so hittable, very hittable. We see it right there, 46% striking defense. Takedown defense is non-existent. I think Malik can either land a big shot on the feet or get on top, and if he gets on top, like the fight is probably going to be over shortly after. This guy's ground and pound is some of the best ground and pound you will see out there. So Meerschaert Abdul-Malik by knockout, round 1, round 2. The prices are horrific, just horrific, just awful. But I think we all know what's probably going to happen. Feel bad for Dusko. I mean, you're coming off of a brutal injury, some surgeries, a layoff, on a bit of a skid, and they give you Meerschaert Abdul-Malik. Like, give the guy a break. Abdul-Malik's ground and pound is just no like the power in general is no joke. So Dusko, eating punches with his face, I don't think is going to be a wise decision. So yeah, Meerschaert Abdul-Malik should destroy this guy. From a betting perspective, like I said, I might do like a Hail Mary parlay. I've been cooking up. There's some spots sticking out, and I was looking at maybe like the fight won't start round 3, which is minus 220. Meerschaert Abdul-Malik to win in round 1 or round 2 is like minus 160. Like the fight doesn't go to decision, I think is a good parlay piece as well. I really struggle to see this fight going 15. Just something violence related, I might throw into like a 4-leg Hail Mary parlay, something like that. But yeah, gotta go Meerschaert here. And hopefully it gets it done early, so I don't have to worry about that cardio. Yeah, I think, Meerschaert 1-2, not the best price. I think it's like minus 160-ish, around there. But I think it hits. Meerschaert smash, I'm thinking the same thing. Todorovic is the smallest 185er I've seen on the scales. Yeah, he's definitely smaller here. Not good. I don't know why he accepted this fight, to be honest. Terrifying. Meerschaert round 1, plus 110. I would lean round 1. Could also be round 2. I know some books do like the same game parlay where you parlay the money line with the under 1.5. I think that could be solid. All 16 people on MMA decisions had Carlos Leal winning that fight. 11 30-27 and 5 29-28. Yeah, I think I had it 30-27 for Leal. Yeah. But I could also see a 29-28 for Leal. What I can't see, though, is Renaud winning. Can't see that at all. The live is on late today, Brady. Hope you are doing well. Yes, had to definitely push it back, but wanted to absolutely come on here and talk through some of these fights. Hail Mary lays. Yes, I'll be going through my thought process on this Hail Mary, trying to cook something big up. A couple spots sticking out for it. We'll talk about it as we go on. Yep, Meerschaert in the under 1.5 could be interesting. Meerschaert 1-2, solid. Meerschaert parlay with Sopai. Yeah, I thought Sopai. I really like Sopai in that matchup. Another wide line, but I did like him to win. Let's see. Brady, are you surprised Romanov got cut after his win? Yeah, I was really upset about that because now I can't post like his workout videos anymore. But am I surprised? Kinda, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't have cut him, but, like, you look at his last 2 wins. The Nascimento fight was the worst fight I've ever seen. I think the UFC is looking for, like, exciting fights, exciting fighters right now, right? So that Nascimento fight was the worst fight we've ever seen, and then his fight against Blagoy Ivanov was, like, the second, worst fight I've ever seen. So his last 2 wins have just not been exciting at all, and then he has 2 losses in between those. So am I surprised? No. Would I have cut him? No. But, yeah, it just sucks. Yeah, it was a terrible fight. It's awful. All right, let's keep moving on. We have Jillian Robertson going against Luana Pinheiro, and a lot of my night comes down to this fight. The only thing that scares me is, like, everybody's reading the fight the same way. Like, it's so obvious, but I mean, you look at this fight, and I think Pinheiro, I think people are being a little bit too harsh on her. Like, I actually think she's good. I think Pinheiro's very good, but for the first 5 to 7.5 minutes. After that, she's awful. After that, she's just terrible. But yeah, the first 5 minutes, she has solid striking, good power for the division, good judo, very physically strong. But as the fight goes on, and it's in every single fight, no matter whether she's wrestling, whether she's striking, whether it's a high paced fight, a slow paced fight, it could be any fight. When that 7.5 mark hits in the fight, she starts to really slow down. Sometimes even before that, like late in the first round, she's starting to slow down in some of these fights. So it's like, I think Pinheiro is like round 1 or bust, I guess. But is she going to knock out Robertson? I don't think so. Is Pinheiro going to get the first strawweight knockout with these new gloves? I don't think so. But I think that's probably how she needs to win, because it's just hard seeing Pinheiro go out there and win 2 rounds of this fight. So yeah, this should be Robertson. I think early on it will be competitive for sure. I think Robertson might even struggle a little bit to get the fight down to the mat with the size, the physicality of Pinheiro. The striking of Pinheiro, you got to favor her as well. But as the fight goes on, I think Robertson's going to start implementing that game plan, implementing her will, dragging the fight down to the mat, and eventually finishing Pinheiro in that second or third round. So I'm big on Robertson round 2, round 3. Not the best prices, but I think it's like plus 450 round 2, plus 750 round 3. I'm pretty big on those. And then I also might be throwing Robertson inside the distance and in like a Hail Mary parlay as well. So yeah, should be Robertson all day. First round might be a little iffy, but as the fight goes on, you got to favor Robertson. Oh, what do you guys got in the chat here? They should cut Rodrigo Nascimento. They actually did. They did cut Nascimento. They're cutting heavyweight wrestlers all over the place. Yeah, there's been some interesting cuts lately. Yeah, they cut Carl Williams. It's weird. Got Nick Alexander saying, my dog of the card, Ricky Turcios, new mythical fighter on recently unbanned substance, PED. Jeez. I wanted to see that fight. I wanted to see that Sopai Turcios fight, but sucks. Not me. Reading it differently, taking Jillian KO, ground and pound. I like that. I like it. Jillian a round 3 decision. Instead of that, I would do like the Jillian in the over 1.5, because just in case it is like a late second round finish. We saw Angela Hill finish Pinheiro late second round. If Angela Hill can do it, I think Robertson might be able to do it. So like the Jillian in the over 1.5, I think it could be solid. Round 2 and into the distance is an ugly price. yeah, it is for a strawweight fight. Absolutely. Robertson KO, Gomes KO parlay. Yeah, I think the Robertson KO is very much in play. Robertson all day. She loves her weed too. That she does. We got a couple smokers on the card. Couple smokers. Worth a sprinkle on Pinheiro plus 3.5, plus 165 in case Robertson doesn't get the finish. Yeah, I mean, if she doesn't get the finish, I think that probably hits. I think Pinheiro has a good chance of winning the first round. But I don't know. I wouldn't put a lot of faith into her cardio and toughness and heart. I just don't think she has any of that would be the problem. I like that. I like it. Robertson has 2 KOs and 9 submissions. Yeah, mostly submissions she's looking for, but she can land some ground and pound. We saw it in I think it was the Viana fight. Robertson second round submission. I think that's what I'm picking officially too. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. It is Cortavius Ramius going against Gaston Bolaños. I'm actually really looking forward to this fight quite a bit. I think this has potential to be one of the better fights on the entire card. The thing here is this line's been just completely obliterated in favor of Ramius here. He opened up minus 550. He was sitting around like minus 140 for a while, and now he's minus 225. Some money came in on him throughout the week, and Balanos is plus 190. And I think, Ramius can look all of minus 225 if he comes in here with a very good game plan, which would be getting the fight down to the mat. I think that Balanos has Elise Reed level grappling. We've seen him taken down. He's been submitted in 2 losses. The Aaron Phillips fight was just an awful look. Aaron Phillips was able to take him down, get in the mount, take his back, and almost choke him out. Aaron Phillips is not good at all. Like Ramius, if he gets the fight down to the mat, I think he makes it look easy. But I guess the concern would be if Ramius goes out there and stands and bangs with Bolaños, which, that could happen. If that does happen, not saying Ramius can't win that fight. I think Ramius does have power. I think that Bolaños, doesn't have the best cardio. But I would just like Ramius to get the fight down to the mat. I had the submission circle for Ramius. It is the worst price I've ever seen. I think like the submission prop is like plus 170, like something awful for Ramius. What is it? The submission prop plus 165, plus 150 for Ramius by submission. So what I did, I put a 1.25 units on Ramius inside the distance at plus 120. It's just about the same as the sub, and this guy has power as well. Bolaños has been finished 3 times. So yeah, I like Ramius here to get a finish, preferably by sub, but I think he could also knock him out. I think as the more the fight goes on, the more it does favor Ramius. Ramius is not going to slow down, whereas Bolaños will. So yeah, I like Ramius here. It's not something to be like extremely confident in because this guy, I don't think he's the smartest fighter, and I do think he might stand and bang, which wouldn't be smart, but we'll see. But yes, I think somebody's getting served here. The weed parlay, Prates, Tercios, Robertson, and Johns. Yeah, they all do. They all do. Blocked a guy forever because he wouldn't admit Angela Hill beat Baby Shark. I completely forget about that fight, to be honest. I forget who I scored it for. All right. 420 life. There you go. All right. A couple more fights. We got Reinier de Ritter going against Gerald Meerschaert. We got de Ritter is currently minus 310 and Meerschaert is plus 260. So yeah, what I do like here quite a bit is the fight doesn't go to decision. Potentially going to be throwing that into like a Hail Mary parlay. I just think somebody's getting served here. De Ritter, you watch his fights and what he's doing in like 90% of his fights is he goes out there like a bat out of hell, takes his opponent down, and chokes him out like a minute later. Like that's how 90% of his fights go. This guy's no joke on the mat, has some good ground and pound, really good submission game. I think de Ritter round 1 is very much on the table here. The problem with de Ritter, though, is I think his cardio is very, very questionable, to say the least. I think he has some quit in him. And when you have a guy with cardio issues and quit in them going against Gerald Meerschaert, like how many times have we seen Gerald Meerschaert come from behind out of nowhere and get a finish in the second or third round? So Gerald Meerschaert round 2-3 is always in play. I hit it last time when he fought that other quitter, Edmund Shabazian. Hit it there and might hit it here again. Like I said, I think de Ritter could absolutely run through Meerschaert. I think he can make it look easy. But if he's not able to get Gerald out of there in the first 5 minutes, I think he starts to wilt a little bit, slow down. And if you slow down against Meerschaert, he will make you pay. So I like the fight doesn't go. First and foremost, it's chalky, it's scary. Violence hasn't been hitting. But yeah, minus 165. I was just shocked to see it only at like minus 165, minus 150 on some books. So I might throw that into a parlay. And then I'm also on Gerald Meerschaert round 2-3 sprinkles. It's literally live against anybody, especially with a guy that has been finished in both of his losses, who's shown some quit, who's shown some cardio issues. So yeah, this should be a very, very fun fight, but I think somebody is getting served here. And if you listen to both their interviews, it's like de Ritter's talking about doing exactly what he does, coming out there and making his statement. He said he needs to make a statement here. He needs to get a finish. And then Meerschaert, to listen to his interview, and funny enough, he was like, if you had to bet it, bet like the fight ends by submission. I think somebody's getting subbed here, which I thought was funny because I was actually looking to bet the fight ends by submission. But I think the Ritter could potentially TKO him here is the thing. So fight doesn't go. I think somebody's getting served. I was thinking fight doesn't go decision at -150, -165. Not bad, though. It's not bad. Yeah, I mean, that's every Meerschaert fight. If he survives the first round, he's always live. Fight starts round 2. Will be a sweat. It's -300. I don't know. That other quitter. There's some quitters, man. I always like attacking the quitters. GM3 round 3 is always in play. Plus 1200. Yeah. Always in play. Ritter round 1 or live bet Gerald round 2. That's not a bad look at all because I think Meerschaert could like die in the first 5 minutes. Hit on Meerschaert live last time out. Smart. Yeah, if you guys have not hit the like button, please hit that like button. Would appreciate that. GM3 round 3 sub for the culture. That'd be nice to see. But yeah, all right. So yeah, looking at Meerschaert 2-3 and then potentially parlaying that fight doesn't go. Next, we got Neil Magny going against Carlos Prates. We have Prates -750, Neil Magny +550. Nothing's really sticking out here. I think Prates probably does knock out Magny, but I just can't get the -750. And I also can't get to his knockout prop, which, believe it or not, is like -300. Oh, -3. My bad. -350. Like, I can't remember the last time a knockout prop was priced that poorly. But yeah, I think probably does knock out Magny. Could be first, could be second, could be third. But I think he does knock him out at some point. Just don't really see any way of playing this fight. And I don't even really want to parlay like especially the money line or even like the KO. Just parlaying that KO is just disgusting. So I might just sit back and watch this one and see if Prates can pass the Neil Magny test. Yeah, total pass on this main event, but they're kind of pricing me out of it. So quick recap for the card here, and then we'll hit up some final questions, thoughts, and concerns from the chat. I think Mullins should spank Sygula. I think a sub is very live. Sygula has been finished by submission and her only loss. A couple amateur submission losses as well. Mullins is a brown belt. I think the sub's live. Could also be TKO, but I like the inside the distance for Mullins. Not touching Gore, Trocoli, or Blackshear Stamann. I think Racki sub is very live. Racki's a very good grappler. Black belt. Semelsberger cannot stuff a takedown. I think Racki sub's on the table. Zaleski, Scroggin. I think Zaleski inside the distance as a potential parlay piece. Gomes, Carolina not touching it. Mansour Abdul-Malik, Dusko. I think Malik KO 1-2. Fight won't start round 3. Something along the lines of that. Robertson, round 2, round 3, I think is a very good look. I think Pinheiro maybe last at least 5 minutes and then it gets bad for her. Ramos, Balanos, I like violence there, but more specifically Ramos inside the distance, probably by sub, but there's not much of a difference between the inside the distance and the sub. The Ritter, Meerschaert, I like violence there as well. I like those Meerschaert 2-3 props and then nothing for the main event. So in terms of like a Hail Mary parlay, I was looking at the Ritter Meerschaert fight doesn't go, which is like -150 to -160. Robertson inside the distance, which is around -150. The Mansour Abdul-Malik Todorovic like fight won't start round 3. And then Zaleski inside the distance around like -150. Those were the kind of the 4 spots I was looking at for like a Hail Mary, but probably be adding that later. So any final thoughts from you guys before you head out of here? Oh, dude, they are insane. I've hit some big Magny props in the past. Won't be playing them here, but they are massive numbers. Under 2.5 -200 seems pretty fair. It does. I think it does come before that 2.5 round mark. Over 1.5 in the main event or not. I think the fight starts round 2. Could be solid. Over 1.5, maybe. I think it might come like around that 1.5 mark, like mid round 2. I'm kind of thinking. Let's see. If Magny can survive, test them. Sig lungs. I also said the same thing about the leech, though. Yeah, the leech got brutally. That was brutal. That was brutal. But all right, guys, I'm gonna head out. Best of luck to you for UFC Vegas 100, the very special UFC Vegas 100. Next week we have a pay-per-view card. John Jones, Stipe Miocic. I think we got Michael Chandler, Oliveira on there. Bo Nickel, Paul Craig. So next week's going to be fun. So tune in to Stat Diggers with me and Uncle Weezy Sunday, 7:15 Eastern Time. Be on the lookout for the betting breakdown video, which will be out tonight. And then going to be going live for Best Bet sometime tomorrow afternoon. Best of luck, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll talk to you guys soon. See you later.